Happy New Year! It's 2025. The year of the Red Dragon takes control of the United States of America. Yee ha! I'm Timothy Lee, your host of Music Meltdown, Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown, here on the great, the one and only YouTube. I'm sitting here in the Musical Nerd headquarters in Northwest Pennsylvania. It's a chilly, brutal winter night as we start the new year. Got the musical mascot Boots is here with us as normal, and evidently doesn't want to be seen because she's got her curly locks flowing like the breeze. The great, the one and only, the president of JJP Productions, Jesy Jones Productions, the one and only, the amazing, the wonderful, and the, by now we know, mediocre looking Jesy Jones. Say hi, Jess. You said I can't say beautiful, so folks, we got to get her on camera. As soon as hopefully some of you will join us. We didn't really do a lot of pre-production for this, so maybe people, we took a little week off last week because of the Christmas and all the holidays, and it was a long work week and there was a lot going on, so we didn't do a live last week, but we're back, and we really need to get the wonderful Jesy Jones in the camera because she has got the curls flowing like a champ, like a rock star, seeing as we're about Music Meltdown. So hope you all had a great New Year's. Hope you had a safe New Year's. And most importantly, I hope you were blessed and you were able to spend time with your families. And what more can I say? Don't really have a lot on the docket tonight, as they say in the courtroom. What we're going to do is... why is that so funny? So what we'll do is I jotted down some of the notable, sadly, rest in peace, deaths of musicians in 2024. And I also jotted down some records that were released in 2024 that maybe you've heard of or maybe you want to go check out. So that's pretty much what we have on the agenda. Otherwise, as soon as you all join us, we can get you to, I personally, Timothy Lee, your host here on Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown here on YouTube. I need you to start pounding the chat with, we want to see Jesy Jones tonight on camera. It's really important.
If we get 4 likes.
Okay, she said it. She said at the 4th like, she will fly those beautiful curly locks for all of you. She don't got the Nirvana Chris Cornell wool cap on tonight, so whoop, there's one. We got one. Boom. Boom. We got one. Tres hombres left. And we are in the money, folks. And you are going to see some curly hair unbeknownst to the human race. Because she has got it rocking tonight. So, no, really, in all seriously, hopefully you had a great New Year's and you had a great holiday season, through Christmas. And you were able to, hopefully, my prayer is that you were able to spend some time with your families and maybe take a little break from work. And I'm getting stared at from my left, and I'm not exactly sure why, and it is creepy, folks. You have no idea the pressure. I've got my my brim on tonight because we're flying big time. Come on, stick. Oh, it's only one, but come on, get your head up, man. Get your head in the camera, Jess. Come on, say hi to the folks.
I'll show a little bit of what they might see if
All
they.
right, give them
if
a
we get four.
tease. Give them a tease. What? That's what it is. You're teasing the cat. Up, 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 up. There you go, folks. She's got them curls flying free. And I mean, I personally think it's very, the B word. Not the 5-lettered B word, but the be full. Beautiful. But I'm not allowed to say that, so I digress. I will not. Remember, can't say that here. She gets offended with that. I'm still trying to get that 0.00 check sent to me every week. So whatever the boss says. But no, seriously, she is the editor, producer, cinematographer, gap, set designer. Excuse me. She is the one and the only Jesy Jones. So for all of you thinking you need a producer, you need somebody, you want to join the wonderful family that is JJP, Jesy Jones Production. Oop, oop. Ooh. See what you got to look for? We only need 3 more, folks. 1, 2, 3. And you will see the magic. Cheers. We're rocking the house blend. And by the way, I want to say that Keurig coffee, no, it's not Keurig coffee. It's not coffee, but it's
What
quick.
is it?
It's slightly flavored brown water.
Can you double them up?
No, well, you could. I mean, I suppose if you wanted to, but so we're rocking the house blend.
How could you double them up?
Well, you could either run 2 cups through the same Keurig cup of coffee, or you could do 2 separate cups, but it's gonna put water. It's gonna make a jump.
If you did 2 through 1, it would make it even more watery.
Well, it could, yes, very well. A lot of people do it though to stretch it out. Yeah, because it's cheap.
I didn't know.
They're expensive.
How do you make it stronger?
It's not humanly possible with that. You can't really make strong coffee. I mean, I prefer to get fresh roasted beans, grind them yourself, and then go through the brewing process. Good evening, whoever just joined us. Send us a little chat with your name and where you're from so we can acknowledge you. We thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Timothy Lee, your host of Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown here on the Great. We're playing that game again. YouTube. She's being the star. Now, if we can get 3 more likes, total of 4. Oh, it's the big G-Man is in the house. Welcome aboard, sir. How goes it this evening in the great white north of Northwest Pennsylvania? Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it, Garrett. Thanks for being here, man. That means a lot to me. Oh, we got 2 likes.
Uh-oh.
So here's what we got going on.
Hi, Garrett.
Here's what we got going on, kids. If we can get to 4 likes, then Jesy will break out the flowing. It sucks. Yeah, I got you. I feel it. Very cold. Yep. Yes, sir. Very cold here indeed, sir.
How much snow did you
How much
get?
snow did you get, Garrett, out there in the great? I didn't. I said in the great Northwest Pennsylvania. What do you want from me? Wow, I'm getting instructed, or as we like to call in the real world, micromanage. Because, like I said, she is the boss. But anyway, 3 feet.
Oh, holy cow.
Yeah, we did, I don't know, what do you think we got here? 4 or 5 inches, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5, maybe 6 inches. But so what we got going on tonight, the challenge is to all my wonderful viewers, if anybody can make it, like I said, we didn't do a lot of pre-production on this one, and we didn't schedule anything, but we appreciate the big G-Man being here tonight. Is if we can get 4 likes, the one, the only, the irreplaceable, and the irascible. Is that the right word?
Look it up.
The one and only Jesy Jones,
Harassable.
head check writer for Jesy Jones Production.
Harassable?
Frank, welcome. Hi,
Hi,
30, 40. Hi,
Frank.
Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Ava, how goes it, young lady? Thanks for joining us, Frank. We hope you had a good Christmas and a safe New Year's. I hope everything's good out in East Falls, Pennsylvania, in the Philly area. Thank you for all you do. We got 3. So, Frank, what we got going on tonight is that if we can get 4 likes, the great, the one and only, the amazing, the talented, the smart, the supreme micromanager, Jesy Jones, will show her beautiful flowing locks for all you to see here on the interwebs. So, she's going to give you a little tease right now. There you go. That's as much as we need one more like, and then you're going to get the full blast of the Jesy Jones curls tonight because she's got them flowing free. So, no, we hope, Frank, it's great. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you're here tonight. I hope you had a great holiday season. We want to thank Frank for all that he does for the homeless in the Philadelphia area, and for all that you do, Frank. It really means a lot to us, and we know that there's people struggling out there. But like I said, we got 4. Boom.
Uh-oh.
And let's give it the music meltdown. Boom. Bring them out, girl. Time to break out. Here we go. She's doing us all a favor by taking her winter jacket off because she thinks it's, we're outdoors here. So I appreciate everybody who joined us tonight. We love doing this. We have a lot of fun. Oh, by the way, she's rocking the very, very important people's scarf. Oh, thanks, Frank. Thank you very much for the thumbs up, Frank. You are the man. We appreciate it. Because, come on, let's go, girl.
Okay.
Get up in here. What? Why don't you just turn the camera that way?
Can't turn.
Why can't you? What are you doing?
I'm trying to put
I don't know what she's doing, and she's ripping scratches in my brand new flooring. So, welcome to my world, folks. Thanks for the thumbs up, Frank. Thanks for the thumbs up for Ava. Thanks for joining us tonight, the big G-Man. Like I said, there's quite a bit happened in the music world this year. So, eventually we'll get into a little bit of it. I must say, I don't really like to have to say this, but to be honest with you, the more that I've looked at all the numbers, if you want to wrap up 2024 in 2 words or 2 names, it's got to be Taylor Swift, man. This girl. Yep, you're right, Frank. That's why it's 4 likes. You are number 4, my friend. You're the grand prize winner. You got it. And here we go. Get ready, folks. Dun 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 dun. Oh, I'm sorry. Now she's coughing. Is that what they call it? Or coughing? And boom! There it is. Look at that. There is the.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
So how goes your world there, Jen? Nice scarf. Man, you're like royalty with that. Don't you look like royalty with that scarf on? I mean, I got my Indiana Jones digs on and my Cubs. That will be another 108 years before we win a World Series again, jersey. And then we got Miss Richie Rich over here with look at those curls, boy. They are rocking. How was your week, Jess? Tell everybody how your week was.
It was relaxing, sort of.
Why?
Relaxing.
Why was it relaxing?
Because I had some time off work.
Oh, wow. Time off work. Did you hear that?
How was your week?
How was our New Year's, Frank? Our New Year's was I worked. So it's just kind of another day. But I do have an interesting story about New Year's when you live in Northwest Pennsylvania, Frank. I'm sure it's not this way in Philadelphia, but for some reason in Pennsylvania, they start shooting fireworks off at 10:48 p.m. I thought New Year's happened at midnight, but evidently at 10:48, who needs a clock? You just kind of winging a prayer it. But we appreciate everybody being here tonight. My week was fine. I was busy. It was really just another. It was a busy work week.
You worked a lot, huh?
Yeah, I worked some extra hours.
You gonna get some cash? Big paycheck coming?
Yeah. Especially when I get my JJP production check for the contract I signed my life away to, because it's got a bunch of zeros to the left of the decimal. The problem is there's no numbers; it's just zeros. So
You gonna be swimming in the cash?
yes, you are right, Frank. Some people do shoot off guns. I think they do that around here as well. That's definitely not something I was used to as growing up. I think my biggest memory. So let's ask the boss here. What's your biggest memory of a child of New Year's?
As a child, probably there was on TV. There was a parade. I think it was down in New York City or something. And then there was this big ball thing, and they said the ball drops, and the ball would come down this thing, and it would go 3, 10. I don't know. What do you remember that?
Yes, that's Times Square.
Where did they start out? Like, what did they start out at? 10, 9.
Well, yeah, what? But it would go.
What number did they start?
10 seconds. Yeah, and then the ball would come down. They used to have Dick Clark used to do that in Times Square. The ball drop. That's kind of what I remembered, even though I'm 14 decades older than she is. But
do they still do that?
I think so. Yeah, I think they did. I think Ryan Seacrest did it. I saw something on Sirius was doing a bunch of stuff on the interwebs, but I don't have like live TV, so I didn't really see any of what they do. But I thought it was interesting. Excuse me. I thought it was interesting that here in Northwest Pennsylvania, we start blasting off fireworks at 10:48, and then it got quiet, and then more loud booms started happening at 12:07. So go figure. I don't know. Maybe they didn't understand that you gotta, you light the fuse at 11:59, and then they shoot off right at 12:00. But that might be a foreign concept here in the.
I think you're exaggerating.
Oh, by the way, look at that handsome man right there. That is courtesy of the one and only Dale A., one of our faithful follower or subscribers. We really appreciate it, Dale, and yikes, that's frightening. But it is what it is. So yeah, it's supposed to keep snowing here, Frank. We got quite a bit of snow here today. I know Garrett, I think he's still in the chat. He got 3 feet of snow, Frank, where he lives here in the northwest corridor of the great state, the Dutch state of Pennsylvania, the Quaker state, the Rust Belt. We got, I think.
It's the cornerstone.
No, it's the Quaker state.
Yeah, I think it's also called the cornerstone.
If anybody knows in the chat, is Pennsylvania called the cornerstone state? I think it's called the Quaker state. I'm not from here. I wasn't born here. I'm not Catholic, but I'm going to do it anyways. But
Commonwealth.
no, here we go. And we're off and running. 20 minutes in, and boom, Jess is doing her thing. But no, it was it was an interesting night. I pretty much just worked, so it really wasn't more than just another day. But let me why don't we I'll start off tonight by sharing a couple records that you might be interested that got really Keystone State. There you go, Ava. Boom.
Keystone. Thank you,
Oh,
Ava.
Ava, you
Thank
got
you,
it. You are a
Ava.
rock. See, that's why you're on Music Meltdown, Ava, because you're a rock star. Well done, young lady. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Keystone. I always thought, well, oh, I thought it was the Quaker State, but
That too, probably.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I did see that snow, Frank. Yep, it's a winter wonderland here as well. We got white snow, except where the dogs have been, but man, what are you gonna do? Don't drink. Yes, indeed, Ava. Thank you very much. I really thought it was the Quaker State, but maybe that's because isn't that the name of one of them chicken wing places? That's
What did Ava say?
she
Get
said
to
the
read her-
Keystone State.
Yeah. Thank you, Ava. You're so smart. Let me read. Aw.
But there was definitely some good music that was released in 2024. But like I said, as far as like live concert tours,
Awesome.
it was the year of Taylor Swift. And boy, I hate to say that, but man, oh man, this girl is doing some bang up business and making lots and lots of cheddar or money, filthy lucre. I don't know, call it what you want to call it, shekels, gold coins. I don't. What's that thing called? The internet money?
Bitcoin or
Bitcoins. Yeah, she made lots of bitcoins, man. Because, dear, I mean, outsold tickets from like the Stones tour and several other big bands. That just it was kind of shocking to me. But hey, if you're gonna be a Swiftie, I guess you're gonna be a Swiftie all in. I don't know something about like bracelets and I really don't know. I'm not into that. That's not a thing. I don't. I've heard some of her songs. I mean, I can't say that some of it's all that bad, but I don't really get it.
What's this thing with the bracelets that you keep talking about?
Well, you go to the concerts and they have like little stations where you can make those little bracelets with the little
Charms?
letters. Yeah, and then you trade them with all the other Swifties is what they're called. And they all trade each other.
What kind of charms are on them?
I think it's like letters and you like write things out like be kind and all that kind of stuff. I think. I'm not really sure. I don't know. They had an event here in our local Mayberry-ish.
They had a Taylor Swift event here?
Well, yeah, over at the wine place over there, they like some lady put on this thing and you could pay like $20 and you go there and make these bracelets and she said she was a professed Swiftie, which I guess is what they call the people that follow her or something. So I honestly don't know that much about it, but there was a couple good records that I wanted to mention. Certainly, towards the top of the list is Black Country Communion put out their 5th record. That's Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple and Trapeze and many other bands. Joe Bonamassa, Jason Bonham, who is obviously the Led Zeppelin's drummer, John Bonham's son, and Derek Sherinian from a fellow Armenian. You go, Derek, from Dream Theater. And they put out their 5th. I didn't think they'd ever do a record again. I don't know if they're going to tour, but so they put out, and that's a pretty good record. I haven't heard the whole thing, but I've listened to some songs, and it's always good. So any of you out there who haven't heard of a band called Black Country Communion for the Black Country in England, I highly recommend you go out there and check that out. It's worth digging into. Michael Schenker, the former lead guitarist for one of the best bands of the '70s, in my opinion, and maybe kind of underrated. I mean, I know if you're old like me, you know, I don't know how many of the young kids know this band, but UFO, Michael Schenker, the guitar player, not the original guitar player. The original guitar player was Uli John Roth. That's a shout out to you, Big G Man, because I know you know who that is. Uh, Michael Schenker put out a record called My Years of with UFO, and there's some great, and it's all full of guest artists. I think Axl Rose and a lot of Slash and some of the guys at Guns N' Roses. That's a shout out to Larry Burt, one of my good musical mentors, Larry Burt from the area. He turned me on to that. That's another great record to look into. Let's see, what else did I write down on here? The Black Crowes put out a really strong record called Happiness Bastards. That's a great. That's a great. What? What?
I don't think you're allowed to say that word.
Okay. Well, sorry, YouTube. I said it because that's the name of the title. So, um, Blackberry Smoke put out a record called Be Right Here, which is another good one. And is in in memorial of Britt Turner. Their drummer passed away, sadly succumbed to cancer, and passed away. Like I think it was either right before or right after that record was released, so it was a big deal. And the Van Zant brothers also put out a record. That's Johnny Van Zant and Donnie Van Zant. Ronnie Van Zant from Leonard Skinner, Donnie Van Zant from 38 Special, Johnny Van Zant, who had his own band and now is singing with the current, I don't know, quasi formation of Leonard Skinner. They put out a Christian record called Always Look Up, and that's actually really, really good stuff. So those are some ones that I highly recommend you go out there and look. Ace Frehley put out a record called 10,000 Volts. Marcus King, who was a great blues guitar player and singer, put out a record called Mood Swings. Some of the older rock bands, Blue Oyster Cult put out a record called Ghost Stories.
Who?
Blue Oyster Cult.
Who?
I'm not saying that for a third time.
Who?
Blue Oyster Cult.
Who?
Yeah, I know where you're going with that. Blue Oyster Cult.
Blue Oyster Cult.
So,
Who?
nobody. I'm not saying it again. We're not going there.
And who else put out some good stuff this year?
Neil Young and Crazy Horse put out a record called Effing Up, which is obviously one of their famous songs. Let's see, what else did I... Devin Allman put out a record called Miami Moon. I think I did know, Frank, that was that Die Hard was a Christmas movie. Did you know that? The Bruce Willis movie?
Frank says. Hey, oh, okay. Frank says, did you know that Die Hard movie is a Christmas movie? I did not know that. Frank, I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
That's
I think I
interesting
did, but
fact.
I'm not a big Die Hard fan, so I'm not all that familiar with
Bruce
those.
Willis?
Yeah, it's Bruce Willis.
Know them. Okay. Now, who else put out good stuff? Who else put out new stuff this year?
That's about all. There was quite a bit of music put out, but I really didn't. Nothing that really. I know Thin Lizzy, Eric Bell, the original guitar player from Thin Lizzy. They went back in the catalog and with Phil Lynot's original vocals, and they re-released some stuff. And I think some of it was actually new music that had never been released. So that's pretty interesting.
You want to see some?
What's that?
Oh, go ahead. Continue.
What did I want to see? I want to see something. You just said you want to see something. So
I said, "Do you want to see something cool?"
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, look, see my hair right now.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it grow.
Wow. Yeah, it's the amazing growing fro. The Jesy Jones fro is being produced as we speak. I'm telling you, I'm so thankful we got the bare minimum of likes so that we could get the fro on screen for this beautiful New Year's. We're starting 2025 with a bang, folks. We know we got the Red Dragon coming in January 20th, so we gotta get ready and boom, look at that hair. Look at that beautiful hair right there. Look at that, folks. Look at that. Look. I'll tell you, she's rocking it tonight, and I am so thankful for that. There is nothing more special than when she gets the human fro working just with her hands. She just goes whoop, 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 like whoop, 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 whoop. But we hope everybody had a great,
Now do it to your hair.
Oh, you want to see my fro, folks? Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, not growing. Yeah, that's what happens when you get old. It gets and you deal with the boss like this, the micromanaging genius here. I'll check it after the live stream, Frank. So go ahead. You can email. Yeah, don't say anything personal on here. Just go ahead and email it to me, and I'll check it afterwards. I apologize. I haven't checked it for a hot minute because it's been extremely busy. We've both been very busy, so I just didn't have a lot of time to get to it. But I will. I promise you, I'll check it tonight afterwards. So go. Feel free. You have the email address, Frank. So just go ahead and email me. So what else is going on in your world, Jesy Jones? Any future projects in the works? Do we got any new chicken videos, new health videos, new
Health?
yeah, like good eating videos or
Good eating.
you're the queen of healthy living. So you have anything to share on your channel? No. Oh. Sorry, folks. That's a no. So I guess just go back to heathenism at its finest. We do live in the land of the hedonism living, not heathenism living. But it's all going to be good, folks. I think I think hopefully, I know there's a lot of people out there struggling. I know it's been a difficult time with the political situation in the country. And go ahead, yes.
So what did you do for New Year's Eve?
I will repeat myself. The question was posed to me, what did I do for New Year's Eve? I worked.
What did you do after work?
I came home and literally about 23 minutes after I got home, I started hearing loud explosions seemingly right outside my door. And I thought, wow, is it New Year's Eve already? And it was actually 10:48, and they were firing off rocket ships. I guess that's SpaceX. Elon Musk and SpaceX was delivering packages to Mars or something because it was going off. And I checked my phone. It was 10:48. So then I kicked back. I went on. You guessed it, the one and only, the home of the great idiosyncratic idiots music meltdown, and this highly talented, amazing young lady, Jesy Jones Productions, that you're here with us tonight. I went on YouTube and I watched some more shows on YouTube.
What did you watch?
I watched Mr. Handpay, one of the gambler YouTube guys, just destroy a double top dollar in a red hottie 7 machine for the tune of about, I don't know, 65 grand in about 26 minutes.
And how much did he lose previously and afterwards?
I don't know how much he lost. I just saw what he put in.
Because
I think he put in $47,000 and he cashed out like 111 or something like that. So it was pretty crazy.
The gambling casinos are not made for the players to make money.
I know that, Jess. It's just okay. We folks, let's a little disclaimer here. We've had this discussion ad nauseum, and I get it.
Math.
I get it.
Simple math.
I worked in Las Vegas for many years. I understand all about gambling. But what I would like to share with you folks is that, excuse me, not to interrupt you, but wait, don't move. Wait,
what?
Just let me finish my point before you move. What I want her to understand is that back in the day, you weren't allowed to film in a casino. You weren't even allowed to take a photograph like a Polaroid or anything because, what's the new saying, the new catchword for Vegas? What stays in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So they wouldn't even allow that. But what I find fascinating today is that the casinos, in their infinite wisdom and how to make money, and the fact that they're all backed by Wall Street money, so it's all about making money, is they've learned to use the interwebs and the great, what is it, Gag? No. YouTube.
Armchair critic.
No, they use the great YouTube as a vehicle to promote their casinos, and these guys come in with their own money. I mean, they're still getting all the comps and the freebies from them because it is, but the casinos are not giving these guys money to play. They just go in with their own money, but then they film it all and they put it on YouTube, and you can sit at home and watch some absolutely sick and I'm assuming I've seen them also lose astronomical amounts of money, and the ones that and it's no good. It's not a winning proposition, folks. Gambling is bad, and it drives the great Jesy Jones absolutely bonkers. I have no clue. I'm done. And go ahead, finish it up there, beautiful locks. What do you got? Hit me.
I don't know. I was just seeing how far you would go with it.
Oh, dear Lord. But, and I mean, the ones that I think are the real ones is I've seen some guys lose.
And
gambling. Children, if you're watching, young adults, don't gamble. It's not a winning proposition.
And what else did you do that day? What else did you watch?
And what else did I do?
What else did you do that day? What did you have for dinner?
What did I have for dinner? What did I have for dinner?
Can we quickly talk about the air fryer?
That indeed we may. Fire away, young lady. It's your forum.
I'm not much of a promoter of modern day devices. I'm not. Whoa.
That's an understatement, folks.
Whoa.
That's why I almost gagged on that statement, but go ahead. I digress.
But what goes, something that may have been previously cooked.
As in?
Fried chicken, let's say.
Okay.
And then it cools down, and it's not so good. And
okay.
Put it into the air fryer to reheat it.
Yes.
Comes out tasting better than it was originally cooked. Hot.
The miraculous modern conveniences. Folks,
it's pretty cool. Bread gets all crispy and yummy.
Let me just give you a little background, folks, on what she's meaning by this. Can openers. She still thinks she's in Vietnam and she's using one of those like little P3, those C3 little can openers, those ones you used to open like meal for ready, like they give you in the army. But
It's called,
my
it's a GI can opener, but it
okay,
works better than regular
but
can openers.
microwaves, no.
I don't have an
Blenders,
air fryer. He has.
anything on the counter, no.
He has the air fryer, and it's cool.
I know, and I'm so thankful
But I
I
won't buy
do.
one.
I want to give a shout out to the
So I
one and
come
only
here.
Mr. Richard Sarver, ex drummer extraordinaire of the rock band Queens of the Warren County, Kings of the Warren County. I didn't mean that, Rick. If you're watching, I'm sorry, but Kings of the Kings of the Warren County specialists. He turned me on to that, and those things are really cool. So I will. It makes life a lot easier. And it's super quick and easy to clean, and especially when you're a young, handsome bachelor, as like myself. It's so much easier to live life with an air fryer because, boom.
It's a kind of a cool modern day invention. And what else is a cool modern day invention?
Oh, the electric scooter, man. Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with it. I'm telling you, folks. If you live, especially if you live in a metropolitan area and you're looking for easy transportation at very little cost, you can go out. I mean, e-bikes obviously are the way to go. They're awesome, but they're pricey still for a good one.
Can I
But
cut in for a minute?
yes, you
A
may.
second? The cool thing about a scooter, a motorized scooter, is it, what are they called really? What's it called?
What an e-scooter?
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah, electric
An
scooter.
e-scooter
Mm-hmm.
is that it's quiet. So if you want to have a little nature scooter ride and you can keep it at, a minimal speed, you're not like going really fast or anything. You can put your hands on the little handlebars and you can look up in the air and look at the birds and everything as long as you're not off-roading it or something. But it's quiet, the wind doesn't blow in your ears, so you don't hear that because you're not going that fast.
Oh, the wind blows in your ears.
And you're
Trust me.
standing upright so you can look around. It's really cool. Sometimes if you're on a bike, you're all hunched over and it's hard. If you look around and you're on a bike, sometimes the bike starts to veer the way your head goes. You might end up in trouble. So you can't really gawk around and you can't look up at the birds and stuff when you're on a bike that well. Like if they're right over your head or something, because you could crash.
Oh, you can crash on an e-scooter too. Trust me, I've done it. But what I would really suggest you do, folks, is go back to the goodbye video, the clickbaited Jesy Jones production specialty video that we just released on You Got It, Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown, and watch. You want to see what a frightening old man on an e-scooter looks like. There's a perfect example. I knew that she was filming that, but I didn't think it would ever see the light of day. But unfortunately, my day happened, and it's out there for the public for in perpetuity. So, you want to see what an old man on a scooter with a backpack on his way to work.
We tried clickbait and
I don't. And what? What are you fishing for? I have no clue.
and clickbait.
Oh, it worked because one of my friends.
It didn't really work.
Well, no, it didn't get a lot of views, but one of my friends, one of our subscribers said, "What are you doing? Are you quitting?" You got all freaked out, and I said, "Did you watch it? If you watched it, you will."
We fought clickbait and clickbait won.
Yeah, so
it is.
It was a it was a good video though. She does a lot of hard work and she loves doing what she's doing. And I'm telling you, even though you can't tell
It
because
was the recap.
as I'm looking at the screen, it looks like she has a black shirt on, but but the scarf is just making man, it's kicking up the ambiance here at the musical nerd headquarters because I'm not allowed to have fancy stuff like that. So I'm telling you, it looks like she has a black turtleneck, but but
We're gonna work on our set design.
but
Make
you
it
know
better.
we're having fun here, so we appreciate
Wednesdays.
everybody who joins us. Frank asked, "Do you ride an ATV?" I have before, actually a few times I rode one with her one time, but not really. No, I don't. That's not something. I've never had any way or place to ride them around or have a way to haul them around. So I know a lot of people that do,
A lot of people like the reason why personally loud noise is I don't like loud noise that much just because it kind of like makes my head just goes like in my head. So the noise of it isn't really all that relaxing. But a lot of people like them. How about you, Frank? Have you ever rode?
in the
ATV?
meantime, why don't we give a couple RIPS for some of the notable musicians who have passed away in 2024. There's quite a big list, but I wanted to specifically put out a few names. Would you buy an electric vehicle? Mr. M, welcome. Glad to have you. Jesse
Yay!
actually.
Hi, Mr. M.
Jex Frank says he hasn't ridden an ATV. So Jesse had a hybrid Prius Toyota, so it was kind of like a quasi electric vehicle. To be honest with you, if that was something I could afford to do, I probably would. I don't see the pro. I think there's some uh, validity in those, but I still think if you're in a
It
if
didn't
you're
have, mine didn't have much power.
if you're in a major metropolitan city where there's a lot of people and a lot of traffic and it's just hard to get around and having just a regular vehicle stuff, those e-scooters or e-bikes are the way to go because, I mean, it's you just plug it in after you ride it, you're ready to go. I rode one literally from March or maybe April of this year till December, I was still riding it, and it got me to work. I live about 3 miles from work, and I was riding it to work and back. It's a little dicey at night, especially in the area in which we live, because it's a small 2-lane road that is the road to get back to where I live. So it was a little dicey sometimes at night or when the wind was blowing really bad or something like that.
Did you see coyote?
But no, I've never seen any coyotes, but I saw a black bear one time come pop out of the woods. So, but let's while we had this minute, thank you for the like. I appreciate it. We are so indebted to all of you for hanging in there with us. I know it's been a little bit sporadic. The holiday season was a bit busy, and I worked a lot, and Jesse was working a lot. So,
Well, I actually got a little bit of time off. First time.
yeah, I'm sure motorcycles definitely can be noisy, Frank. That's for sure. But why don't we go through some of the notable deaths and let's you know maybe I'm sure most of you, if you're into music, you probably know these names or you've already heard this, but I'll go through a few. I mean, obviously a big one here towards the end of the year was Quincy Jones on November 2nd. Um, there's really not much I can lend to the name Quincy Jones. I mean, if you know, you know. I mean, Michael Jackson. He was a great musician in his own right. I mean, the guy has done so much for music, and it's a huge loss. I mean, I don't think he was as active in his lately, but um, he had his hand in a lots and lots of music that you've listened to. So That was on November 2nd. Phil Lesh, the original bass player from the Grateful Dead, passed away on October 25th. That was another huge loss. He had been still doing it and doing Phil and Friends, and for that community. Who, by the way, I can't say thank you enough to all that the Grateful Dead community and family have done for this channel. Um, that video about the hotel clerk, about my story with the Grateful Dead, that video is still getting views. I think it's over 21,000, which is amazing for the amount of subscribers we have. And there's been so many great comments, which I think I'll read a few more tonight here later. But really means a lot. And so that was a big loss to that community. But what can you say? He was an original member, and he was still doing it. So that was on October 25th. Paul Di'Anno, a name you may know, you may not know, the original lead singer from Iron Maiden. He passed away on October 21st. And a more modern name that I'm not super familiar with is Liam Payne on October 16th from, I believe the band was One Republic. I know it was a big thing. I actually I listened to a Dateline podcast about that. I think it was Dateline or 2020 or something like that. But that was a tragic event. He was a young guy, I think under the age of 40. Johnny Neal, for those of you into the Southern rock music, you may know the name Johnny Neal, a keyboard player, played with the Allman Brothers, played with 38 Special, played with a bunch of guys. Warren Haynes did a bunch of stuff with him. Johnny Neal died on October 6th. Let's see. J.D. Souther. Now, there's a name that I know Mr. M probably knows who that is, and some of us more mature folks probably know who that is. J.D. Souther wrote so many tunes for the Eagles, and the outlaw country guys, and a big name in that genre of music. He passed away on September 17th. Greg Kihn. My love's in jeopardy, baby, from the 80s. Greg Kihn. He passed away on August 17th. Jack Russell from Great White fame passed away on August 7th. And here's another huge name in the British blues scene, John Mayall. John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. If you don't know that name, or if you've never heard that, I highly suggest you go out on YouTube or your local streaming service or whatever, however you source your music, and check that music out. I mean, world famous and a big name in the blues scene, the British blues scene. He passed away on July 22nd. Steve Albini on May 7th. That's a name you may not know, but he was a fundamental part of the Cheap Trick career in launching them. I mean, I know there was a lot of bad blood, I think, at some point, I think, over that Rockford record. And I know I'm not that much of an expert, but I know there was a lot of stuff going on. But Steve Albini passed away on May 7th. Dickie Betts, what more can I say? The great Dickie Betts. I mean, great Southern, the Allman Brothers Band, obviously a founding member. He sadly passed away on April 18th. And that was a big one. There's only one original Allman Brother member left, and that's Jimo, the drummer. Butch Trucks having passed, Greg Allman, Dwayne, Barry Oakley. So that was a tough one to take. Britt Turner, you may not know that name, on March the 3rd. He passed away on March the 3rd. He was the drummer for a band called Blackberry Smoke, which, by the way, if you've not heard that band, please go out and find a record called The Whippoorwill. That is just top to bottom. That is great Southern banging music, for lack of a better term, man. That is a great record, and I highly recommend you go out and find that record and all their catalog. He passed away. He succumbed to cancer on March the 3rd, and it was right before they released this album that they released this year called Be Right Here, and it was a big blow to the Blackberry Smoke family, and two other big names. Well, some other names: Mojo Nixon, that us older folks might remember. He passed away. Toby Keith, monster country musician, died on February 5th. And another, foundational member of American rock and roll. You wouldn't probably even know about Ted Nugent and so many other people who I know name check him constantly, was the great Wayne Kramer from the MC5. He passed away on February 2nd of this past year. So, rest in peace to all of you. Thank you for everything you did. There's so many others. Sissy Houston, Chris Christopherson, Frankie Beverly from Frankie Beverly and Maze, David Sanborn, Dwayne Eddy, so many people, Mitzi Gaynor. There was quite a few, and I mean, obviously, life goes on. The clock is ticking, so we know we're going to lose some of these people, and that's why it's so important for all of us to. Wow. So Mr. M just commented, Morrison Hotel, which was on the cover of the Doors album, burned down within the last week. Wow. That's a great record too, man. I can picture that, Mr. M. I can picture the album cover just as you wrote that. I'm like, wow, I can see it in my mind's eye. Uh, that's sad, and it's just, and that's why. Look, I'm not an expert on music. I didn't, go to college to graduate with some kind of music degree or anything like that. But I just know that it's important for those of us still living to keep promoting this music and keep this music alive, because a lot of these artists are starting to, they're getting older. And I mean, it's just part of life. So, that's the big thing of why I asked Jesy to help me put this together and start doing this. Um, it's complicated sometimes because I work a job and everything. This isn't like the only thing I do. So we may not be super prolific in putting up videos, but we try. We should be able to get back into a daily Thursday night thing, or at least one day during the week to go live. Um, and it's important for all of us to show this younger generation or expose the younger generation to this music. Um, it's crazy how, I know so many people and so many youth that, they've never heard of, I don't know, the Rolling Stones or Led Zeppelin or the Who or whatever band it is that you were into, or whatever genre of music Johnny Cash, or Frank Sinatra, or whatever it might be, you know Miles Davis. I mean, there's so much stuff out there, and even though that we have this interweb and the internet and all this stuff that we can, it's like right in your hand. You can find all this stuff, but we still need to guide them, and because it's not going to be something that's going to come up in their feed. And again, I hate to say this, and this is I don't think the third time I've said it, but like this Taylor Swift girl, man, she just made oodles amounts of money, and it was like her year. She was basically the big music scene thing, and so, and unfortunately, part of that would be a person that could really expose a lot of the younger people to the classic music, but that's not the landscape of music right now. So, you know, me personally, I think it's important that we keep, uh, talking about music and things you enjoy, and I mean, hey, not everybody's gonna like the kind of music you like. Doesn't matter, just they might fall into something and start listening to something and go, wow, and then send them down the rabbit hole. And that's how it, always starts. So there was some pretty serious losses this year, but we want to give our condolences to all their families, all the families of the bands that they were associated with, and really mostly more than anything else, just say thank you for giving us this music, because once the music is out there, especially with this internet thing and all the streaming services, it's never going away. It'll be there for a long time. And even on YouTube here, you go onto YouTube Music and it's crazy how much even the old grainy footage and stuff from the 70s and 60s isn't the greatest quality, but you can find things, the old midnight specials and the old night flights and excuse me, and all those things that we used to listen to find music. So I'm glad that some of the guys that are still around and still doing it are putting music out. I highly recommend. I know Mr.M knows this band. Not sure anybody else who's with us may know this band, but UFO. I mean, Michael Schenker putting out that My Years, what was it called? Yeah, My Years with UFO. I highly recommend. Now, granted, it's not the UFO band. He did kind of like a Santana thing where he brought in a bunch of guests and did UFO songs, and they're not the same arrangements and all that, but man, it's strong stuff. And so I highly recommend you go out and check that out. Well, the great Jesy Jones is back. She disappeared on us. She had to take those. She had to go work on her those beautiful curls
At the laundromat.
at the laundromat, the local laundromat here in Mayberry, Pennsylvania. But no, so that's my big thing. I never have had more fun than Oh boy, Dale said, "Oh good, I just got in time then." Yep, get ready, Dale. Get ready, because she's getting ready to get on camera. She's got the curly hair flowing tonight, so you better come on, girl. He's waiting for you, man. He got here just in time. But I mean, that's one of the things that I love is just talking to some of the youth and some of the younger people and talking about music that I enjoy, and then if I get a chance to play it for them. And it's amazing how some of them are like, wow, this is really cool. And that to me is gold. Money's great, all that kind of the things are great. And here we go, Dale. And
Hi,
boom, there
Dale.
she is.
Hi, Dale.
Take your coat off. Come on, stay a while. Take your gloves and your coat off.
What did I miss? Was he behaving himself?
He said he just got here in time.
Oh.
Nice. But that's a big thing, and it's. Was he? Thanks, Dale. Come on now. Now you're gonna make it worse. Did you forget this is my musical nerd headquarters, and now the chief is back. Look at those men. You got that fro working tonight, girl. Look at that. Curls are going. You got it going on. Yep, we're starting 2025 with a bang. Go figure. Go figure. Here we go, folks. And by the way, the great Dale who just joined in on the chat, printed out. That's the greatest gift I've probably gotten in my 62 years on this planet. Is there he is, folks. Look at that handsomeness right behind me.
Here.
He's laughing. He laughed out loud because he goes, "You kept it." Of course I did, young man. What are you kidding me? Of course, Dale, I kept it, man. That is comedy gold right there. Look at that handsome young man. I mean, gosh, you can't go wrong. I'm probably blowing the interwebs up right now with that picture. Especially with the cat right over my head.
We featured that picture, Dale, in our last video. Remember
Go
that?
ahead. We'll tell him.
Yeah, we featured that picture. We,
Tell
our last video, we featured that picture just for Dale.
That's it. Just for you, young man. You're an important part of this. You're a pretty important cog in the development of this interweb empire called Music Meltdown, with the great curly haired, free flowing Jesy Jones. But no, and again, for all those who just joined us or just got here recently, I hope you all had a safe. I'm the troll. Oh my goodness, man. Don't get me started, sir. That's probably, let's just read that out loud for everybody so they can hear that. Dale A says, yep, I'm the troll under the bridge of success. And be careful because he might use one of his delicate karate moves on you. So you better be careful, folks. Be careful when you see the troll because it could lead to imminent disaster.
You don't want to poke that troll.
Yeah, exactly. That's one you want to just, Exactly. Yep, Garrett. The big G man says the only thing missing is the thought bubble, which is like what the thought bubble would be is like, wow, is that young man handsome? But no, we hope that everybody had a great holiday season and you got to enjoy the yeah, the thought bubble. Exactly, Dale. We hope that you had a great time with your families, and that it was great to maybe see some of your family you haven't seen for a while. It's an important thing, and I know it's tough for those that don't have their family near them. Um,
We hope you didn't get too much snow.
yeah, we hope
there
you got gas for the snowblower because you're probably gonna need it out there. So, but that's a big thing. We hope that you had a good time and you were able to share with your families. And it's a big time in America right now. This country stands on the precipice of something that, you know, maybe this is, as much as I hate to, man, I don't even know if I should say this, but maybe this is the Vietnam era event of this generation because I think I think it's time for a change, and I think that okay, the micromanager is giving me the evil eye saying I don't think I'm supposed to say that, but I think it's time for a change, and I think that I think it's a time for the people of the country, not obviously the political climate's going to change, but I think it's time for the people to stand up and get the people that represent us to start changing things in this country. So I hope that all those struggling and all those that maybe their jobs aren't as busy as they once were, it's kind. I think it's a double-edged sword because I still think that if things really do change for the better and things start picking up and being kind of the way like pre-COVID, can people handle it? Because it just hasn't been that way for a while. So, but it's exciting time. I look forward to this year. Um, I'm sure a lot of you got a lot of things going on, and I hope that your New Year's is looking happy. And if it isn't, hang in there, keep the faith. Um, you know, if nothing else, find some good music, some uplifting music. I always find comfort in a good hook, and especially by bands that probably write music for like teenage girls or something. I don't know why, but I ran into this band called Paramore. I don't know if anybody out there's heard of this band, but and it's probably written for teenage girls, I would assume, judging by some of the lyrics. But for whatever reason, it is catchy, and I love like pop music hooks. People that can write pop music hooks are geniuses. So, but you know, what else have you got for us there? People don't. Why are you playing with a cracked heel stick? I got it. Well,
Could you imagine if somebody thought this was like
underarm deodorant.
lip balm or something?
What?
And you had
Welcome
all
to my
over-
world, folks.
all
Welcome to
over
my
your
world.
feet, and then they were just like.
See what happens. See what cold air does to people when they go out in the cold this time of year.
I think I was born with it, with all this. All
I'm not sure what that means, but why don't you elaborate? Go ahead. I'd love to hear this one. Go ahead.
all this.
All this what is that? All this. I don't know what does that mean?
All this stuff like rattling around in my head. It just rattles. You know.
Wow.
You know how it is.
No, I don't really know how it is.
Because he has a squirrel in his head. And I have acorns.
John
in
and
my
Rachel Lay say, have fun, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you so
head.
much.
Thank you.
Glad to join.
John and Rachel.
Glad to have you. Hope you had a great holiday season. Hope you were able to join, have some fun and be around your family. And it really means a lot for you to be here with us tonight. We really enjoy what we're doing. We're so thankful for everybody who's supported us. We're not the Joe Rogan podcast or anything like that on YouTube. We're not one of these huge channels, but we just love sharing time and talking and
We
and-
love to see the same faces coming back.
and
same people.
just talking
Coming
about
back,
music
'cause we
and
love
life.
you all.
Yeah, we really do, and it's overwhelming, and it consistently shows me the power of music, and you don't have to be a genius, you don't have to have gone to the Berkeley School of Music and all that kind of stuff. It's just people enjoying things, and there's always, and I mean, how crazy and cool is it that we can all listen to the same. I could play a song right now, and every one of us could get something different from that. So. Uh, it's just an amazing thing to me. That's what's so interesting because she listens to certain types of music, but when I have her listen to the music that I enjoy, she'll be like, yeah. And to me, it's like got the squirrel in my brain just going a million miles an hour and revving me up. And she's like, yeah, really? And so, I mean, but then there's stuff that, maybe she listens to that. What's that guy's name? Ingve Lottie guy? What's the guy's name?
Ludovico Eonadi.
Ludovico Enanate.
Eonadi.
Eonate.
Eonadi.
He makes you a fresh pasta bowl
No.
and plays piano for you.
No, he plays amazing piano. And how does it make you feel? If I try to force you to listen to that.
Say it 10 times fast. Go ahead. Say it 10 times fast.
Ludovico Eonadi.
10 times.
Eonadi. Ludovico Eonadi. Who's
Go. That's
Dale.
Dale said it.
Dale.
But I mean, that's I don't know. Sometimes I like it. I think it's all depends on your mood and what you got going on in your life. But I just find that fascinating because
He won't really let me usually.
I guess what won't let you play your music. Yeah, well, I have to control one thing in this whole thing of her being my boss and my micromanager. I got to control something. And normally, let's do a little snippet of what it's like when the boss, the great Jesy Jones with the beautiful flowing hair tonight, we get in a car together. This is about how it goes. I'll have my phone, it's probably playing music, and the first utterance is, it won't be hello, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? It'll be turn it down. Turn it down.
And then the next thing, no, not up, down.
I love it, man. That I think actually
I did. No, you didn't. You turned it up. Turn it down.
I think she has a thing on her dashboard that says turn. She has an illuminated sign that says "Turn it down" the minute I get in the in the car.
I did, but then it gets louder.
I don't see a problem with that. Can I control one thing in this world? Just one.
Because where Tim goes, noise follows.
Yeah, I think some of the people in the chat that know me well would probably say that is a very correct statement, but it is what it is.
And
it's who
that's
I am.
not meant to be a criticism. It just is the way it is. That's not good. That's not bad. It just is.
Oh, it's meant to be a criticism.
No,
Trust
no,
me.
no. It's just the way.
No, yeah, I mean, she's right. I'm not going to sit here and argue with her. I mean,
And that
it's true,
fact
but
was verified by his mom, his beautiful, sweet, kind, and saintly, patient mom. When she told the same story.
albums released. Okay, Mr. M says albums released in 1975, 50 years old this year. Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Boom. Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. Boom.
Wow.
Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks. Double boom. A Night at the Opera. Queen. Freddie Mercury, rest in peace. Boom.
Wow.
Young Americans, David Bowie. Boom, boom, boom. Welcome to My Nightmare, the great, the one and only, Detroit's finest. Or actually, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Michiganders, those people that live in Pontiac, Michigan's favorite son, Alice Cooper. And Venus and Mars. Uh-oh. Mr. M, you're gotta come to my rescue. I am not Venus and Mars. Man, I honestly, that does not ring a bell to me. I got all the other ones, but that one, you got me. You get the gold star, young man. Mr. M wins a prize for the night because I'm not. Who's that by, Mr. M? Out of curiosity.
What was it, 50 years ago?
Paul McCartney. Yeah, now, see,
wow.
you should have known that. I am not a huge Beatles fan. I mean, I like the Beatles. I know some of their songs, but really, when it comes to Paul McCartney, I think Band on the Run. That would be, like a rock show. That would be the one. Well done, sir. Wow, that's 50 years ago. Wow.
That's
wow,
amazing.
wow. And he's still out there doing it, man. Wow. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about, like, if you were to talk about the Beatles, the Stones, the Who, those would be kind of like the three big names you think about. And I don't know, for me, it was always, well, my best friend, rest in peace, KJ Kowal, was always the Who. He was a huge Who fan. But I always gravitated towards the Stones. It was Exile on Main Street and Sticky Fingers. I mean, those records, and it might have been because his older brother used to play guitar and they would play that music all the time. But something about that. But I'm not saying that I'm a recent. Hackney Diamonds wasn't a bad Stones record, but I kind of lost them after, say, like Tattoo You or something, maybe Steel Wheels. But for sure, the stuff from the late 60s and the early 70s, You know, it's just wow, 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 wow.
That was a good era of music.
It was a
For
great
sure.
era of music. It was really, to me, the greatest era of music between, you know, like say, well, like say 60, 66 to 80, well, maybe 78, 79, something like that. I mean, how can you go wrong? There was so much good stuff. And they were churning stuff out, you know, because it was album tour, go on tour, write an album, and some of it isn't some of the greatest because you know then there also you know it was the era of the rock and roll lifestyle, and you know obviously drugs came into play and all that kind of stuff. But I mean there's some killer stuff. I mean Alice Cooper alone, Dennis.
Do you
Was it?
know that song? That Venus and Mars is by Paul McCartney.
Yeah, that's what he said. He answered
You
it.
don't know that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that surprises me.
No, it's not a song. It's a record. It said albums released.
Oh, okay.
So it's a record called Venus and Mars.
I'm surprised you don't.
I'm not a big. I wasn't a big Paul McCartney. Like I said, the only thing
You
that I
like Paul McCartney and
yeah, and Wings, but that
Oh,
that
so
might have
did
been
he go
before
so-
that because
Oh, did he go
so that
solo?
was so Mr. M was
Wow.
that before Ram? Was that during that time in between like Wings and because didn't he put out a couple records just as Paul McCartney at first, like when all they went their own ways? Didn't he put out like a record called Ram? And then Wings kind of came a little bit after that when he I don't know, you know, I don't know the timeline of when he married that Linda McCartney and all that, but what? What are you doing?
I smelled something. Or something. Sorry, I thought.
Still crazy after all these years. So that was Paul Simon, Physical Graffiti, Led Zeppelin, yeah, Fleetwood Mac. Man, a great Fleetwood Mac. Toys in the Attic, Aerosmith. Those were all released in '75. Wow. Yeah, that
Oh,
was
wow.
that was the golden age, man. Well done. Thank you, Mr. M. I appreciate you joining us, and thanks for this sweet words on as far as having a good New Year. And what are you doing? Okay, well, I guess the great Jesy Jones is bailing out for right now. I guess she's got to go do her laundry or something. I don't know. The people at the local Mayberry laundromat are probably stealing her panties right now or
Nobody
something.
wants any of my clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's gonna want any of her clothes. Trust me. Trust
They
me.
usually come out not much cleaner than they went
Do you
in.
really want to say what's the chicken shirt say?
Chicken whisperer?
Yeah. Do you really want to take a shirt that says "I'm the chicken whisperer"? I don't think so. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of people looking to kite that shirt, but man, 50 years ago, that's crazy. You know, it's amazing how time flies, and there's so many, and it's good to see that there's still some of these guys that are still alive. You know, it's weird. The one that keeps sticking out to me is Born to Run, and that another thing. I think it's on Netflix. I don't know. It's one of the streaming. I'm pretty sure it's Netflix. But if you haven't seen that Springsteen on Broadway, that's the kind of stuff I like. It's just him and an acoustic guitar, and he tells stories about the songs and how they were written and things going on, and then plays some music. That is genius, and that's gold. Paul released one solo and formed Wings. Oh, okay. So, Band on the Run, Band on the Run, Venus and Mars, Speed of Sound were that was formed Wings, and those were all released 74 through 76. Yep. Okay, gotcha. Yep, cool. I knew because I think the one before that was Ram, right, where it just says Paul McCartney. I think that's what the name of that is. Uh, but man, so much great music, and that was a crazy time, and it was it wasn't nearly as accessible as it is now in this day and age, with the internet and all that. But like, to go see a concert, it was cheap and it was insane. I mean, man, oh man, oh man, I can't. But yeah, that Bruce Springsteen on Broadway, man, and his book. If you haven't read his biography, okay, gotcha. That's what I thought. I thought it was right before Band on the Run because I remember that. I don't know if I was a big fan. I'm not exactly sure what was on that record, but uh, I do remember that album. It was the album cover. Go figure. Come on, hands up on how many people can remember going into the record store and and buy a record just based off the album cover. I know I can remember distinctly buying records that I had never heard of that band, but I was like, wow, that's a cool record cover. And boom, some of them I like, some of them I didn't. But yeah, Frank, Jessie left for a little bit. She'll be back. She had to go take care of her laundry, so she'll be back. Um, yeah, how crazy is that? I mean, it's weird, and that's the power of this thing called music. Because just with Mr. M talking about just saying the word Ram, or we're talking about Band on the Run, or Venus and Mars, and like I can think back and I can see that record cover right in front of my eyes. And so, I mean, and I don't want to say it's a bad thing today, but that's what I miss about the music, going into whether it be your local record store or even if it was a conglomerate back in the day like Tower Records or, I mean, I was blessed enough when I lived on the West Coast to go to, yes, it's so very true. Mr. M says can't do that now. Vinyl is so expensive now. And you're very right, because I believe, Mr. M, don't quote me on this, but I believe I was watching I don't know, a YouTube video about something, and I think there's only two or three places in America that press vinyl right now. So that's probably the reason why it's so expensive. I know there's a move back to it, and I know a lot of kids are getting back into. I mean, come on, who doesn't remember the Marantz receiver and turntable, or the Onkyo, or the turntable? You got to get the stylist and. Uh, but man, it's just kind of sad that and again, this is not a paid advertisement, but I use a streaming service called Tidal, Tidal. That's what I stream my music on. And, I can just go in there and just start browsing or just type in a name of a band that I gotcha. Yep. Mr. M says Sam the record man on Yonge Street in Toronto is gone now. Exactly. I mean, there is not one record store in the area in the county in which I live that you could go. I mean, they have some of those like used like antique, quote unquote antique shops where like you might be able to find something, or a couple bookstores that have some old records and stuff, but it's gone. And you know, I distinctly remember reading Billboard magazine, and then you'd know when records were getting released, and you'd go down to the local record store. Uh, I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy Title. I it makes it great for like when I work. A lot of times I can wear earbuds, and I put my earbuds in, and whatever band happen it might be, I have some playlists that I made, but well, a bunch of playlists that I made. But if I just feel like, hey, something came into my head, I don't know, Molly Hatchet, and then I just type in Molly Hatchet and start blasting their records. So, and you could just run them back to back to back to back. So but yeah, it's a different time, and i I'd be hard pressed to say that today is better than it was. I'm not so sure I can say that. I think when you kind of had to work for the music, it was a little better. I really do. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm nobody important or special in the whole grand scope scheme of things, but I thought it was better when you kind of had to work a little bit to try to find something. And again, I learned about several bands I discovered just on album covers. plain and simple, that I'd never heard of before. One that I remember, I'm not sure. Well, one was the Dixie Dregs, Cruise Control, I think was the name of the record. But that was one where I was like, it was a cool record cover, and I was like, what is this? Who are these guys? And I just bought it, that back when they were not import records and they were cheap, a couple, $2-3, and out of the newspaper delivery money, the big payday. But yeah, it's a different time, I don't definitely. Oh yeah, Mr. M says even the cutout bins back then, oh yeah, where you get the exactly. And if you're one of us more mature individuals, you know what a cutout bin is. So it's so weird, I mean, I don't know. And again, it's I know like comic books are a thing, especially with all the movies on Disney and all that stuff and all this. But like, and I know there's people that still do that. So I guess it was kind of the same thing, but they still there are, I know there's a comic book store around here, so I mean they still have that kind of thing, but it's weird how it just, you know, and I don't know how fair it is to the artists. I mean, I I don't have the exact numbers, but I know that I've heard, people say they have a billion plays on, like, on Spotify or something, and I'll bet you they don't make a lot of money off a billion plays of their song, so it's weird. And that's why a lot of people just don't put records out anymore. They're just kind of, they'll just ride the wave on their old glory, because it's, what's the purpose I have, what's the purpose of doing it? So, but I think that oh man, I'm just like reveling in the past. My mind's spinning right now. You got me, Mr. M. I really appreciate you being here with us, and I appreciate everybody who's joining us tonight. But that's got the hamster moving the wheel in my brain, because I think back to when we were kids, and and my parents weren't like super musically. I mean, my dad was, he worked a lot, so, and my mom, it wasn't like a thing that was in our house a lot. But I mean, I distinctly remember being in the car and listening to, obviously, the great radio stations of Chicago. I was very blessed, you know, up until the age of like 14, listening to, you know, XRT, WXRT, and the Loop, and so many great radio stations. But yeah, it's different, really different. And I mean, I fall into it. Like I said, I love that. I love the fact that I can, and I have found a few new artists on the streaming service, because they always recommend new artists or people that have put new music out, and so I have. Uh, but I'll be honest with you, I tend to go back towards the '70s and the '80s and the '60s mostly. To be honest with you, I mean that's what I listen to, and most of the stuff I've listened to it so much that I pretty much know it by heart. So I mean, it's not like it's always discovering something new, but it's like a creature comfort. I mean, it is comforting to me a lot. So, uh, but heck, I digress. Oh, one YouTube channel that I want to recommend to y'all. Now, again, I'm not a musician. I tried to play guitar for a while and keyboards. I wasn't given that gift like Jesse was, but um, one channel that you may really enjoy on YouTube, on the great YouTube, right here on YouTube, is called Drumeo, Drumeo. And what they do, they have a really cool concept. They'll bring professional drummers in, whether it be a session drummer or like they've had like uh, Sugarfoot Moppet, who did all the drumming for a lot of the drumming for Michael Jackson. They'll have Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater. I mean, Stuart Copeland from the Police. All the big names. They've even had Wolfgang Van Halen on there, did one. But what they do is they play them a song that they've never heard before. And what they do is they make them listen to it with no drum track. So it's just the singing and the music and the string instruments and the keyboards, but no drum track. And then they allow them to put, ad lib what they think the song calls for. And it's a fascinating thing to watch because now some guys literally one take, they listen to it one time and then lay a track down. And it's frighteningly how close it is. A lot of them are to the original. Other times when it's like the one that I can think of. Okay, great, Frank. Good for you. My brother likes Kiss and Pink Floyd. Those are two. Those are two ones. But the one that I can think of is like Mike Portnoy trying to figure out Danny Carey, who plays drums for this band called Tool, and it literally took him 3 hours. And this guy is pro amongst pros, and it took him like 3 hours to try to figure out the what that song was calling for and how complicated it was. So I highly recommend, if you haven't heard of that channel, Drumeo on YouTube, and just check it out. And I mean, a lot of them, some of them are a little bit longer, 30, 40 minutes or whatever, but some of them are just 15, 20 minutes. And I think you'll really be intrigued by, or it might just be the drummer talking about songs that he did with his band and how he put the track together and stuff like that. But that's definitely one that I highly recommend. So if that's something you're into,
How did you find that channel, Drumeo?
it just came in my feed.
Oh.
And then I started watching. In fact, they have a great documentary out right now. It's called Drummer First. It's about Phil Collins, and that's a heavy five thumbs up. Even though I only have two, but I highly recommend you watch that. That's a really, 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 really good one, and a lot of the stuff with Chad Smith. If you like to laugh and do music and laugh at the same time, that's a really great one too. So again, I want to thank all of you who've joined us tonight. I mean, it's really a blessing to me and to Jesy to just give us a chance to get together as a community and just doesn't have to necessarily be about music, but I know we'll always throw it in there and we'll have some kind of light topic. But Mr. M, Frank, Dale, John and Rachel, G-Man, Garrett, I really appreciate y'all.
Ava.
Yeah, Ava, the one and only Ava Hawley. Boom, good job. The Keystone State.
Yeah.
Ava is the winner with the Keystone State.
Thank you, Ava.
Frank says, welcome back, Jesy Jones.
Thank you, Frank.
So, it's so great to just have a sense of community and just to talk and share what you're thinking about. And I was, after looking at the list of the people that passed away this year, I was really thinking that, one that, it's weird how when it's earlier in the year, you kind of like, because so many other follow behind it, but like Toby Keith was a big one. I'm not a super huge, I mean, if I was going to say I was a country music nut, it would be like the 80s country, because that's when I worked in a casino in Vegas called Sam's Town. That was country. They played country music. I mean, folks, I was wearing lizard skin cowboy boots and a cowboy belt that I still wear to this day. I don't know, 40 years later.
Lizard skin?
Yeah.
Which kind of lizard though?
I don't know what kind of lizard. I don't.
The one that spits blood out of its eyes or whatever?
Spits.
Or no, the Gila monster?
I don't know what it was. My dad gave them to me.
The Gila monster?
No, I don't know.
Did you have them down there? Right?
I guess. I don't know. But
no,
and that's so.
venomous.
I guess what I'm saying is like the, Garth Brooks, Clint Black, Alan Jackson, Russell's Heart, all that genre of country, Reba McEntire, and that also was coincided with when the National Final Rodeo was brought to Las Vegas. So every December for 2 weeks, it was nothing but country artists. And but Toby Keith was a big name in country, man, and he was, that red, white, and blue, that kind of beer drinking American. I love America, and that's a big loss. And my condolences to his family. I kind of forgot about that. I knew that he had passed away. I think he had cancer. But and then another big one way back earlier in the year was Wayne Kramer. If you don't know, if anybody's out there that's listening that doesn't know who the MC5 is, I highly, highly, highly recommend you go and check them out. Find some of their stuff on YouTube or again, however you source your music. I think you'll hear Ted Nugent in there. Ted Nugent was thanks, Frank. I appreciate it. I hope so too.
What Frank say?
He said when you He said, when you both sleep tonight, I hope you both sleep well and have pleasant dreams.
Aw, thank you, Frank.
So thanks, Frank. I appreciate that.
We hope the same for you, Frank.
Yes, ma'am. But I think you'll hear some Ted Nugent in there because he was hugely influenced by Wayne Kramer and you know Iggy Pop, another one that was in that genre. It's kind of hard to describe it, but that so definitely check his music out. The other one that I would say that I'm familiar with is John Mayhall and the Blues Breakers. I mean that the whole a lot of people don't realize. I mean they think Fleetwood Mac and they think Dreams and Rumors and all that kind of stuff, but those early Fleetwood Mac records with Peter Green, they were a British blues band. Green Metalici with a two-pronged tongue and all that kind of stuff. Um, that is some great stuff, and I highly recommend you go back and listen to that. So I thank all of you for being there and for being here tonight and joining us and commenting and chatting with us. Mr. M, you're amazing. You're a man after my own heart because I love how and I'm glad that you gave me some information that because I definitely am weak on the whole Beatle thing. It's not.
I think Mr. M knows more about music than you, which is hard to believe.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he knows more than me. So that's why I love this. That's why you're making why the reason I wanted to start this. You're making this worthwhile. So I really appreciate it. Again, it's all just lighthearted. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just some local yokel, but yeah, Frank, we have wind chimes all along the front on my front porch. So
that's what come from your neighbors.
That's it's my neighbors have that. So that's what you're hearing. It's kind of windy outside. So but yeah. So what I'd like to do is just I want to say that yeah, I like the way the noise they make as well, Frank, for sure. I want to just say that I wish everybody a safe and blessed new year, this coming year. Um, I hope everything goes well for you. I hope if you're struggling at your job or your workload hasn't been much because of everything going on, I hope that it picks up for you. Um, if you're struggling post holiday blues, it's a difficult time for me. I'll be honest with you. I'm not Jesy Jones is my family here in Pennsylvania, but my family I do not. They all live on the other side of the country, so
he misses
being physically present with them is not something that's going to happen. So if you're struggling in that manner, make sure you reach out and talk to somebody. Find somebody to talk to. Don't just internalize it. Don't look for external things to help like ease that pain or whatever. Find somebody to talk to, and
open up your Bible.
Open up your Bible, help others, and it might ease that. So, but I'm so thankful for that, for everything. what I want to do now is let's see here. I want to read a couple comments from the Grateful Dead video. Um, can I get off this and go?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so let me see here. I'm gonna pull up the Grateful Dead video, and I want to read a few comments that we've gotten recently. Which, by the way, the response to that has been overwhelming. I never thought, that was 2 months ago we put that out, and I never thought in my wildest imagination that we'd have over 21,000 people to watch that. It's crazy. So
no, because we literally did it in the fleet of the moment.
yeah, so I mean, I'm so thankful for everybody.
We didn't really plan it.
Let's see here.
Fleet of the moment.
What?
Did I use that improperly?
Yes, you did.
Oh, sorry.
SIDDG 1463 one day ago wrote, so I want to read you this comment. He wrote, "There was nothing like a Dead show. Love 'em or hate 'em, the whole scene was unique. Miss those days. They were magical for me. I had a van and would pile my buddies into it, drive all around the West Coast in the summers of 93 to 95. We were stinky, long-haired, high college youth, loving life, falling in love, partying in forests, deserts, cities, beaches, selling weed and grilled cheese to buy tickets and gas money." Oh man, that's so awesome. Adventuring all summer, even drove to Deer Creek and Vermont. Jerry was starting to fade in a few shows in 95, but 90s scene was fun, and some nights band was still crazy good. Eugene, Oregon, 1994 parking lot was hands down best 24-hour parking lot party of 4 days straight. So thank you, SIDDG 1463. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's the kind of stuff that I love, and that's what makes this so special. And I appreciate you sharing your memories, because that's the kind of stuff that can never be taken away from any of us, is the memories of what you have in music. Let's see, what's another one? What was another one, Jess, that was new?
I'm not sure. I thought you.
There was one more that I wanted to read.
Did you want to use your phone?
No.
Because sometimes it doesn't show them all. Oh, did you do newest?
Let's see. Fuji 4202 wrote, "You're ahead now," with like a alien head. So that's a good one. Thank you, Fuji 4202. You're a deadhead now. Amen to that. That's definitely for sure. So I think we read that John Benton's one. Yeah, so that's what makes this all worthwhile. I'm so thankful for everybody that has given us the support and joined us on our lives, and it means more to us than and I'm so thankful for that, and it's really overwhelming. Blues Breakers, Mr. M says Blues Breakers, Eric Clapton, John McVie, Peter Green, Jack Bruce, Mick Taylor were all members. Exactly. There you go. Now that is a 19. Do you know Walt? That doesn't surprise me, Miss. What? Oh, it's down there. That doesn't surprise me, Mr. M. That Walter Cronkite. Mr. M says, "Did you know Walter Cronkite attended a few Dead shows?" Go
Oh,
figure.
did he?
Go figure.
Oh,
I would. It
wow.
wouldn't surprise me. But I want to get back to a comment that Mr. M just wrote here. He said the Blues Breakers. Now listen to this. Who is effing who in the music business? I played with John Mayhall and the Blues Breakers, just so I can reinforce the importance of going and finding those records. Get ready, folks. It's like a murderer's row right here of the New York Yankees in the 30s in baseball, by the way. Eric Clapton, you know the great. Remember the 70s saying, Eric is God. That's what they spray painted all over. John McVie, the bass player from Fleetwood Mac, married to the great and lovely, recently passed away, Christine McVie. Fly free, angel. John McVie. Peter Green, I mentioned him before, the great Peter Green. And by the way, Greenie, he had a 50, I believe it was a 59 Les Paul, and he called it Greenie, who, when he got out of the music business, Gary Moore somehow came in possession of that guitar. And then when Gary Moore passed, Kirk Hammett from Metallica now has that guitar, and that is a very special instrument. Jack Bruce, Jefferson Airplane, many other bands. Jack Cream, Jack Bruce was in the Blues Breakers. Mick Taylor, the great Mick Taylor, who really, and hey, this is a shout out. He may not be with us tonight, but a shout out to the great John Swanson. How many times, young man, have you told me that those Stones records with Mick Taylor, out of this world? He was in the Blues Breakers. So there you go, man. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names of royalty that played with John Mayhall. So highly recommend. I mean, it wasn't a household name. I mean, if you know, you know. If you were in that, you might have searched it out, but there you go. So thank you so much, Mr. M, for sharing that with us all.
Thank you, Mr. M, for your infinite knowledge.
We appreciate.
I don't know. Musical knowledge. Oh, okay. We're okay.
But we really appreciate all your information, and you keep me humble. I like to think. I like to think
That's
I know.
hard to do.
I think I like to think I know about a little bit about music, but it's very minute in comparison to a lot of other people I've met along the way. So I really appreciate it. So again, my name is Timothy Lee. You're watching Idiosyncratic Idiots on Music Meltdown. Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown. What? My name is Timothy. I don't know.
Stop.
What?
I'm gonna stop.
What?
Using my data. Uh-oh.
All right. Well,
sorry.
I
hope it came on.
I'm Timothy Lee from Music Meltdown on YouTube. This is the great Jesy Jones. We're gonna wrap this up tonight. We're about an hour and 54 minutes in, so we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna go let you spend some time with your families, get some shut eye, go put out some great music. You know what? Better yet, Mr. M, and dedicate to you. This is for Mr. M and all the people that joined us tonight. Go out and find a John Mayhall Blues Breaker record right now on however you source music. You know it's out there, and that. Dale, let's see. Dale wants me to sing this out. Closing time. You don't have to go. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. There you go, Mr. M. Mr. M. Mr. M is blowing us out of the water tonight. Here we go. The Yardbirds, Jeff Beck,
Thank you, Dale.
Jimmy Page. I believe it's Keith Richard.
We love you.
Is that Keith who? It's closing time. Time for you to go out into the world. Semisonic. There you go. The greatest, by the way, the greatest song to karaoke. If you're one of those, which I used to do, I know. Don't even say anything, Dale. Especially you, young man. If you like to karaoke, you go early and then you go to the karaoke guy, you flip him $5 or $10 and say, I want to do the last song. And then you tell him you want to sing Closing Time. It's the greatest song ever, folks. But
how much do you flip them?
like $5 or $10. And I guarantee you'll get it. Trust me. You will get it. I've done it many times. It was the greatest thing. It was the most fun I've ever had. But that's for another day. And Dale's already got me to sing once. So, hey, good night to you, Mr. M. Thank you so much for all. You get the gold star, man. I really appreciate your knowledge. I appreciate you joining us. It means the world to both of us. We wish you all a great 2025. We hope that you're all safe in this coming week. We hope you're all blessed.
We love you.
And we do love you as part of the family. So, there, of course, Mr. M to the rescue by Leonard Cohen. So is that, no, that can't be a cover. That's got to be a different version of Closing Time because the band was Semisonic out of Minneapolis. I'm assuming that's probably not a cover of that song. I'm not hugely, I mean, I do know about Leonard Cohen, but I don't know. It's got to be a different song. So
covered Leonard Cohen stuff, though.
Yeah, so it might be a cover song. I don't know, but we'll have to check that out, Mr. M, next time, and I'll try to make a mental note, which probably will last in my small brain for about 38 seconds after we stop this recording. But yeah, Free Bird, exactly. There you go, Dale. You were itching to get that in, so. We appreciate it all. We love you all. And we sincerely mean that. We thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules. And we know that families and life, and it's a complicated, fast-paced world we're living in. So thank you for joining us tonight. We'll be back. Should be Thursday next week. Hopefully this week, now that the holidays are over, we'll be a little bit more organized and we'll put a community. Check the community post on our page. And we'll let you know what day we're going to do it and what time. And bless you all. Thank you so much. Now, Geck. Oh, that's a pet name I have for her. So if I slip into it.
The last video that we put up when he's riding his scooter and he's going, Geck! He's saying Geck.
Yeah, so that's me
he's saying Geck because I was driving by.
That's me screaming. So anyhow.
Him on the road while he was on the scooter filming him.
So I'm Timothy Lee. This is the great with the great hair, Jesy Jones.
Yeah.
Here on Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a blessed week.
Thanks for joining us.
And as always, let's keep music alive and keep it loud. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Love you. Have a great night.
Be blessed.
Boom.